Hey, good morning. Marcus Conte reporting here today. Might be kind of coming up on the last few days of my reporting career, unless something changes. Right? So I need to ask everybody a favor. Kindly stop what you're doing right now. If you're watching this video and you've been watching these videos for a long time, I need your help. You need to kindly subscribe to Marcus Conte 2, or I renamed it Marcus Conte News, where I'm going to start to put my videos, because this channel has long been demonetized. Nothing seems to be changing. The videos are not searchable on Google. It's becoming unfortunately a losing proposition. And hey, listen, at some point you have to work. You have to work for pay. Or it's not a legitimate endeavor anymore. If all you're doing it is there's no kickback. So I need to monetize the channel, which means I need to get over 500 subscribers and over 1,000 subscribers. Excuse me. We're at 500. So if you just stop what you're doing and click on subscribe, I could push the account over 1,000 and monetize it, and then slowly move all of the crowd over to that channel, and just do what I do, but monetize the channel so that and increase the subscribership so that the videos get searched. So thank you very much for doing that. If not, this might be the end right here. So Marcus Conte reporting. Let's talk about this crazy report. Afghan report bombshell. U.S. officials misled public about war for nearly 2 decades. Wow. In case you didn't realize, right? The war on terror, right? The military-industrial complex, the sham of spending $700 billion a year on war. And it turns out that we were right about the Afghan files. So a couple of files. U.S. senior officials failed to tell the truth about the war in Afghanistan through the 18-year campaign, and it hid evidence that it was unwinnable. Wow, according to a damaging new report. The paper, which obtained the cachet of government documents under the Freedom of Information Act after a 3-year legal battle, reported that the American officials made repeated lies about the longest army conflict in history. Right? In the case of Afghanistan, hundreds of insiders offered blunt criticism of how the U.S. became marred in almost 2 decades of warfare, offering a mix of pent-up grievances, frustrations, and confessions, as well as second-guessing and backbiting. Quote, "We were devoid of a fundamental understanding of Afghanistan. We didn't know what we were doing," Douglas Lott, a 3-star Army general who was the White House's Afghan war czar during the Bush and Obama administrations, told government interviewers in 2015. "What are we trying to do here? We don't have the foggiest notion of what we were undertaking," Lott said, according to this report. If the American people knew the magnitude of this dysfunction, 2,400 lives lost, he said as he blamed the deaths of American troops on bureaucratic breakdowns among Congress, the Pentagon, and the State Department. "Who will say this was in vain?" he added. Since 2001, more than 775,000 American servicemen have deployed to Afghanistan. Of them, 2,300 were killed and 20,589 were wounded in action, according to the Defense Department. U.S. officials acknowledged in the interview that their military strategies were fatally flawed and that Washington wasted huge amounts of money trying to remake Afghanistan into a modern nation. They also shed light on the U.S.'s government's failed attempts to curtail runaway corruption, build a functioning Afghan army and police force, and control Afghanistan's lucrative opium trade. Though the costs incurred in the war in Afghanistan are staggering, the U.S. government has not carried out a comprehensive account of how much it has spent, the report said. The Defense Department, State Department, and U.S. agencies for international development have spent or allocated between $974 billion and $978 billion, according to an inflation-adjusted estimate. $1 trillion. Now there's estimates that are actually much higher than that. That the U.S. that the Treasury has bankrolled these wars, these counterinsurgency wars, and that's just one. That's just Afghanistan. What about Iraq? What about Syria? What about all these? What about the South American overthrows, the coups down there? It's military-industrial complex, right? We're being lied to. We don't have a real enemy, right? So that's all I wanted to say about that. It's just another nail in the coffin, right? We have this, new papers coming out, Bombshell, and what candidate? There's only one candidate in the Democratic Party right now in the running that has any idea that this is a tragedy. This is an American tragedy right here of sending people into harm's way for no real reason. When three-star generals turn around and say, "What the hell are we doing there?" And that's Tulsi Gabbard, of course. Tulsi Gabbard is the should be. I mean, in a perfect world, Bernie Sanders would become the president, and she would become Secretary of Defense. So we're living in troubled times, and so more reports. Big bombshell. Is it really a surprise? Is it really a surprise that we've been lied to again? In terms of war, I don't think so. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Please, pretty please with sugar. Will you please hit the subscribe button down below and subscribe to my other channel so that I can move forward with monetization and keep this endeavor going. Marcus Conte reporting.